Can you just start by telling us what the inspiration was for this world you've created and how close what we see on screen is to what you had in your mind when you were writing?
Well, the original inspiration came because I was in a psychology class my freshman year of college, and I was learning about exposure therapy, which is a method of treating anxiety in which someone is repeatedly exposed to whatever provokes their fear until they become habituated to it. So basically they get over it through repeated exposure to it. And I wanted to use that in a sci-fi way. So that's why we have these simulated realities in which people are encountering their fear like kind of a waking nightmare. And that was interesting to me. So that's where it came from. It feels very familiar to me when I watch it, but it also feels like a rediscovery of this book I wrote, a while ago. So it's been a great balance of, like very true to the book, but also a new thing in and of itself.
Can you talk a little bit, obviously, about Theo and Shailene in the lead roles? I mean, how magnificent you think they are as a fit for the characters you've created?
God, they're the best. They did such a good job, better than I even dared to hope for, I think. Their dynamic is perfect. They have great chemistry. They're really nice people, so it's all good.
What are you most excited about looking forward to the next 2 chapters, which we have had confirmed we're going to see on screen as well?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm currently just still stunned that they're moving forward with the second one. I don't know. I'm a defensive pessimist, so I'm like, it'll never work out until it works out, and then I get surprised by it. So, but I'm excited about the second book because it's very action-packed and it's got some really interesting shifts for Triss's character. So I'm excited about that.
I have to ask, is there one personality trait, one faction that you would say you lean towards?
Oh, God. I would hate to choose any of them. I feel like I don't quite fit into any of them because I'm not nearly a good enough person. But I think if I had to, I would choose abnegation, the selfless faction, because I think it's important, I guess. But I would probably defect. I couldn't handle it. I don't know.
Are you writing anything else at the moment, or is this just the film adaptation kind of consuming your time at the moment?
Well, I wrote a collection of short stories about 4, and that comes out, I think, in July. So I'm still editing that. Yeah.
Of course, I mean, Thor's such a fascinating leading man. Can you talk a little bit about what you think he represents and what was inspiring specifically that character?
Well, I think he's interesting in that he's like ultra masculine, but he has this real sensitivity to him. He has this deep respect for Triss and for other people, and so he's got this kind of softer side, and he has these things that he's really struggling with. And when I write from his perspective, I kind of see that he's really thinking about the deeper things of this world, and so to me, all those things in combination is very, very interesting. Yeah. It's pretty awesome, a little overwhelming, but in a good way. I don't know. It's great. It's very exciting. As you can tell, I'm like, a little wired.
Now, though, because after the other premieres and...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you get used to this. If I do, then someone needs to kick me really hard.
Yeah, well. Are you happy with how this movie has turned out? Is it everything that you hoped it would be?
Yeah, I mean, what I was hoping is that it would just be a real joy to watch, and I think that it really is. I mean, it's funny, it's greatly well paced. It happens really quickly. The characters are really well realized on the screen. I mean, I don't know, and it's beautiful. It's the landscapes and everything. They're beautiful.
Is there something in the movie that wasn't in the book that you think, actually, why didn't I do that in the first place? That's really amazing.
Well, I think there's a little more Janine Matthews, who's obviously played by Kate Winslet. And that's great. I mean, first of all, because Kate Winslet, but second of all, because I think it's good for the antagonist to be a little more present on the page. And if I could go back, I might put her in a little more. Yeah.
So where does it go from here then? How involved are you in the 2 other movies?
Well, I, for this one, was writing the 3rd book when they were making it. So I was kind of like, okay, guys, I trust you. Let you guys make movies for a living. Go ahead. And I think that dynamic, where I'm open to conversation with everyone and people can ask me questions, but mostly I sit back and let people who do this for their job do what they do best. And I like that balance. I mean, I'm present, but not super involved. So I think it's and I get to write with all that free time. So it's good.
It's happened very quick. The first book was published in 2011, so this is only 3 years for 3 books and a movie.
Right. It's kind of nuts. Yeah, I'm not sure how it happened or how we got here, but I'm glad.